Hey YouTube, Josh here. Hello. I think we're down to like 24 days and counting for that car show we're going to. A little bit of work got done this weekend out in the shop. Horse with no name got some work done to it finally. I don't know what the last video where I left off, but I managed to change out the bushing and the tail shaft for the transmission that was whooped. The seal and bushing were shot. They puked oil every time I parked the car. So I had never taken the tail shaft off Ford FMX. So that was kind of interesting. I took some pictures of it. It'll be a post on the blog here in a couple days of a few different little things that I had to get done. But the big news is, that's right, motor's in it. Took a little bit of stuff to get it going. I got all the studs in for the oil pan and the valve covers. Pulled the intake because I thought I had an issue with the lifters, even though I'm starting to doubt whether it was even a problem. I think the last time I drove it, the car that the motor was in, the top end had a little bit of noise, so when I popped the valve covers off while it was running, you could push down on the push rods and the lifters would stay shut, and it would just clack, 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 clack for a minute, and then they'd pump back up. But now I'm starting to think that it's not necessarily that the lifters got beat up so bad. I think it's more or less I had low oil pressure from the oil pump losing the bottom of the plate, and I think that was it. I pulled one of the lifters out and then grabbed a brand new one that I had laying around, and they're the same pressure. So I'm not really going to worry about it. We'll find out when we go to fire it. But for now, I set the timing, distributors in it. Bunch of new stuff, but motor's in it and motor's bolted up. So I got to run some lines. I think today, I just got home from work. I think I'm going to do a little electrical because I'm really not sure what's going to work in the interior and the harness itself. I may just have individual toggle switches to make stuff turn on and off. I do have to figure out a fuel system because the fuel pump, not the fuel pump, the fuel tank is shot. I mean, I blew in the fuel line in the front of the car, and I heard a gargle, and I looked next to the car, and there's a 45-degree line of bad 40-year-old gas sprayed across my floor. So there's a hole in the tank somewhere. Sending unit's probably gone or rotted. The lines are probably rotted out of it. So I'm going to have to either get a fuel cell, or we're going to be running off a gas can and tie down straps. I do have to rob a carburetor off another car because I sold the one that I had. But the brakes are in and bled. And I think we're close. I think this thing should be able to fire up in a couple days. There's been a little bit of talk. I hung out with Ben from the other channel there. And while talking it over, my wife said that the page is pretty boring for people that aren't really car enthusiasts. So she suggests that we come up with something rowdier. And I think what we're going to end up probably doing is we're going to try to do like a Mythbusters theme. And the Maverick that we've got, I don't know if we've talked about it yet, is a 6-cylinder 170 automatic, drum brakes, all whopping 50 horsepower on a good day. I think we're going to literally spend a couple hours and try to figure out how to make a 6-cylinder bone stock Ford Maverick from 1970 do a big smoky burnout. It won't do brake stands because the brakes aren't strong enough to hold it. But I'm going to Google little things. I'm going to imagine we can dump some tranny fluid or something out in the street and just cook some tires off. But we may end up, I'll just leave that. we'll figure that out and we'll document it, but it should be something really hilarious to see a underpowered Maverick do burnouts. I don't imagine they're going to be rolling burnouts. I think they're going to be literally parked boiling tires, but I'll hopefully have that up by the end of the week. I'm going to need help doing that project, so I'll probably get Ben over here and we'll spend an afternoon being jerks out in my neighborhood and seeing what we can get out of it. I think that's it. So I'm going to let you guys go. I got some wrenching to do. I'm going to do some electrical work, and I hope you're all doing the same today, because this is our church. With a wrench in hand, it's like holding the Bible. I hope everybody has a good night. We'll see you later.